In other news, President Joe Biden addressed the tragedy in Wisconsin today, saying, quote, 5 families in Waukesha are facing fresh grief of a life without a loved one, and also said that people were celebrating a season of hope and togetherness, and he hopes that the same spirit will lift them and embrace the families and the victims. White House correspondent Owen Jensen joins us now with more. Owen.
Eric, President Joe Biden also thanked first responders, ER doctors, and law enforcement for what he called their extraordinary work, and he said his administration is continuing to monitor the situation. Meanwhile, also this afternoon in a speech, he said he's nominating Jerome Powell as Fed chair and Lael Brainerd for vice chair of the Fed.
President Joe Biden remembers those killed and injured in Waukesha, Wisconsin, saying he's praying for them.
And an entire community is struggling to cope with the horrific act of violence.
Then the president went on to explain his decision to keep Jerome Powell as Federal Reserve Chair another 4 years.
I believe having Fed leadership with a broad bipartisan support is important, especially now in such a politically divided nation.
Jerome Powell has been at the helm as coronavirus tore through the economy. The Republican was first elevated to his post by President Donald Trump. Among the Fed's responsibilities, keep prices stable and maximize employment.
We will use our tools both to support the economy and a strong labor market and to prevent higher inflation from becoming entrenched.
Meanwhile, over the weekend, the White House released a report on Transgender Day of Remembrance, writing, so far this year, hundreds of anti-LGBTQI+ bills have been introduced in state legislatures. Many of them target transgender children, seeking to prevent them from receiving appropriate and gender-affirming medical care, from using the bathroom where they will be most safe, and from joining sports teams with their classmates. But that's clearly at odds with what the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops and other religious leaders wrote in an open letter in 2017, stating, God created each person, male or female. Therefore, sexual difference is not an accident or a flaw. It is a gift from God that helps draw us closer to each other and to God. And children especially are harmed when they are told that they can change their sex, or further, given hormones that will affect their development and possibly render them infertile as adults.
Now, that same USCCB letter also said, quote, we call for policies that uphold the truth of a person's sexual identity as male or female and hope for authentic support of those who experience conflict with their God-given sexual identity. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.